I want people to become part of the solution by becoming more informed. You had a great childhood as far as your parents and family and the firemen you were hanging out with. How was it in terms of school?
School sucked. Had no friends in school. And I was big. I was 70 pounds when I started kindergarten.
That is big.
I was a big kid. So I always got teased in school.
For being so big?
For being so big.
Now I got to ask you, were you picked on in terms of physically because you were so big?
No, they couldn't pick on me because I was big.
Did you become a bully?
No, I was more of a nurturer, I'd have to say, in school. I didn't become a bully at all.
We've also talked about you being on Ritalin in school and having ADHD.
I was in Ritalin up to junior high.
What age did you start?
9, 10.
Did it seem to help?
As in grade-wise? No.
Anyway.
No, not in grade-wise. Probably a little more outgoing, because that's when I started joining, like, football. I joined football in high school. I joined wrestling in junior high.
And how long were you on Ritalin?
Up till junior high. That's when the doctors took me off.
For about 4 years or 5 years? Or?
5 years, probably.
Okay. You know, a lot of people have ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, 5% of the general population, 1 out of every 20. But for the offenders I've been working with, it's more like 1 out of every 4, 1 out of every 3. And a lot of times even when they get diagnosed, they never get the proper dosage of medicine.
Yeah.
Right, so now what happened after you got out of prison? You were in prison 1.5 years or so?
Yes.
And then after you got, well, can I ask, because I know people are going to wonder, like, what was prison life like for you?
Actually, prison life for me, it was good for me. I really liked it. I didn't have problems in prison. I dealt with a lot of things, and I, got along with people. And I learned a lot about me in prison. I didn't like being locked up, no. But I think it was good for me. So now it was like, okay, prison. It is what it is. I mean, I got to get healthier for me first.
How long have you been working on that since you got out of prison?
On getting healthy?
Yeah.
I have to say I've been out 3 years, and probably in prison about 4 years. Because in prison I started getting healthier for me too. Starting to talk to other people, realizing what they did, going through a program there, learning a little bit there. So started changing myself and my own feelings.
What's going on with your family nowadays?
My kids are all split up. They're in foster care. I'm going court, taking care of that. So.
And your custody with the children?
It's being taken away on Monday.
From you?
From me.
Okay, then that is 7 out of 7?
No, that's only 2. The other ones are old enough now that they're not attempting to, because 2 of them are turning over 18 this year. A couple of them have already turned over 18, so. Okay. But they're taking my 2 littlest away from me. Yeah,
and how are you getting along with the older children?
The older children, except for the victim, I can't talk to, but the other children I get along just fine with. We talk, we communicate every week. I call them every Sunday, they call me. So, I mean, things are gotten a lot better for us since they know Dad's getting help and things are getting better.
You have a new wife. How long have you been married?
2 years.
And she knew about your crime, obviously, before you...
She knew about what was happening when I was in the process of being sentenced. She saw that I was actually a good guy after I got healthy. And she saw that I'm not a big bad meanie. And I take good care of her, and she takes good care of me. She doesn't tell me what to do, we discuss it. She doesn't drink, I don't drink, so that's great. She trusts me with her children, which meant a lot to me. And she just loves me.
Before we wind this up, is there anything you'd like to say to anybody in the community, your kids, anybody at all?
My kids, I just want to say, it's kind of hard to say you're sorry You got to prove it to them. But I do apologize to them and to being a bad father that I was. And I hope they do get the help they need to, so they can have a healthy life and not kind of see what mom and dad did and go to that road instead. I want them to go to a healthier road. Mm-hmm. You know, and I hope they can do that. And I do apologize for being a rotten father to them, to my community, to all community. I just hope they can see this and learn from it, and maybe somebody can see their life going that way and stop.
You're thinking maybe there are other guys out there who are not connected and enjoying loving relationships with their wives?
I'm sure there is.
Get out of here.
I just hope, you know, I'm going through it now, and I just hope they see it so they don't have to go through what I'm going through.
What would you recommend? If you could go back and advise yourself.
Get the hell out of the relationship.
Would that be enough?
No, but I'd have to say, you know, get into some kind of counseling group, talk to somebody. That's what I would have told myself. Run, you know, find somebody different.
On a practical level, you know, I mean, just telling somebody to get into a counseling group.
I know, it's
how do they do that? Yeah, but would you have recommended for somebody like GA, Gamblers Anonymous?
You know, I did that. I did GA, and I went and gambled after.
Well, that's true, but would you think that would still be a place where you could have gotten some help if you'd
I think I would have made more friends, maybe eventually, social outlet. Maybe that would have backed off a little bit. You know, kind of eased up the gambling or eased up the feelings I have for my ex-wife. Mm-hmm. You know.
So that might have worked if you'd been ready for it to work.
Yeah. But I wasn't ready.
Well, because you needed that time out in prison for a while just to sit.
I did.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that at all.
So GA would be something, if some guy would open his mind and his heart to that
would probably help, yeah.
Okay, and then what about, I don't know, what kind of, any advice you might have to give on somebody as far as getting out? Because you had 7 children. How do you get out of a marriage like that?
Just suck it up and do it. I mean, I should have done it. I had a chance a couple different times. She would be leaving me. She'd be packing her bags. Her mom's coming up. And I'd be in the bedroom crying, oh, stay, oh, stay. I love you. We won't do this again. Just let it go. I would have to say just...
Help her pack?
Help her pack. Because if I would have done that back in 96, because I had a charge in 96. You know, and if I would have done it at that time, when I was told this is not a good relationship, when I went to therapy, and if I would have listened to the therapist, I wouldn't got the second charge.
Well, you know, I should have talked about your prior charge before, even though it was a misdemeanor, right?
Gross misdemeanor.
Well, a gross misdemeanor then. What was it?
Pandering.
Pandering in there.
Pandering and placing a person in a house of prostitution.
And that would refer to your wife?
My ex-wife.
Your former wife?
Former wife. She sold herself for $40, and we bought a couch out of it.
Yeah, okay. And you got convicted for that, but not her.
She got solicitation of prostitution.
She did?
Yeah, $25 fine.
A misdemeanor?
Yeah. $25 fine, that's it. I got 3 years probation. So that's 2 times.
A pretty serious wake-up call, you're right, and you ignored that. You ignored that.
I totally ignored it.
Like some guys ignore that DUI and then that second DUI and then they catch a sex crime and yeah. So
it took me going to prison to learn.
Your love life is doing well and you got a good therapy group.
And my family.
Okay.
My mom and my sister, excuse me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Your family hasn't rejected you?
My mom and my sister hasn't, no. My other brother, my other sister has, yes.
Thanks for telling me about your sex crime.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's not so bad.